Alright, hello, how are y'all today?
Good.
Good.
A little nervous to hear the results.
Yeah, you took this assessment, the JVIS assessment, a little bit ago, so we're just going to go over some results. So, Mom, just in case you're not sure about this assessment, it's an assessment that predicts ability, not ability, but interest. So, it's not going to tell her what she's the best at or what predicting. It's just showing her main interest. So
what I like.
What your main interests are and what possible career options could be linked to those interests. Okay.
So relating her interests with a job like
Career.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So
That's exciting.
Yeah.
See what I'm into.
Okay, so first we're going to go over your basic interest profile. So this is going to represent your areas of interest and preferences for work in 34 different roles and work styles.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it tested you on a lot of different things. So it looks like you scored highest on the nature and agriculture. So that was really high percentage. It looks like you also scored really high on family activity, adventure, and engineering. So those are ones that you scored really high, so you have high interest in those.
Well, that makes sense, since I really like everything about nature and families, and I'm pretty adventurous. I like to go on little scavenger hunts around. So that makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like this relates to you a lot. Those choices, it makes sense.
Yeah. It says that your lowest was more in medical service, supervision, and law.
Yeah.
Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, because I don't like going to the doctors. They kind of scare me. I hate needles. And also, whenever I watch law shows, I get kind of bored.
Yeah. So you're into science, but not medical science, more like nature.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like taking care of animals.
And then it also looks like for the next thing that it measured was the work styles. So you scored really high in job security. You scored like above 80% in the job security. And then your next was accountability. So those are different work styles that your interest showed on this inventory.
Which makes sense because, I really want to make sure that whatever I go into is a secure job. And then that I'm held accountable for what I do.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not so much the independence, which makes sense why it's not that great.
Yeah, that one was a little bit lower. And it does represent an area of interest. And then these next couple of pages we're going to go over. So we'll look more into, it says that you scored high on job security. So we're going to read over that element. So it says you prefer a job with definite and predictable future, which is just like what you said. Even before you read the definition, you understood what it meant. And you avoid taking social or economic risk on the job.
See there, it looks over, it goes in more detail about the family activities and like her top choices for job. What does it say under family activities?
Enjoys domestic activities, likes to take an active part in family life and childcare, and decorating and caring for a home and garden, and entertaining guests and related activities.
Right. Yeah, makes sense.
I do like to throw some parties.
All right, let's scroll down some more. And it did say that you liked, or you scored high in nature agriculture. So it says you like to work outdoors with plants or animals. And you just said that makes sense because you do like animals.
And then I do like to garden with Grandma sometimes.
Oh. Well, I'm glad that this is matching basically helping to prove your interests. Let's see. So this inventory also goes over some general occupational themes. So this has revealed general patterns and interest, and it reflects general orientations to the world of work rather than specific interest in particular areas. And it does go over 10 different occupational themes. So the examples were practical, conventional, expressive, helping, logical. And it shows that you scored really high in the practical area, almost 99%. And your lowest was in communicative. So it seems like you're more interested in the practical application of the job versus the communicative interest of the job.
Yeah, that makes sense because I don't really like talking to people I don't really know that well. I get really anxious about that. And I like just doing the actual job itself, whatever I'm doing.
That makes sense. All right. So your low one was in communicative, and it means you're not very interested in ideas and communicating these ideas to others.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And let's see. But your high one was practical, which says that you're more likely to enjoy activities requiring physical or mechanical skill, and you seek satisfaction from the quality of your work rather than from exercising influence or power over others.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You like just said that.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I definitely, especially with animals and dealing with gardening, I mean, that takes a lot of work to do physically, and I don't feel like I'm a dominant enough character to exercise influence or power over other people.
So I'm glad that this is showing you that you do have other opportunities, even though you're not as communicative as others. You still have other opportunities to, look at career options besides communication.
And I also see that it says that enjoying outdoor work, which kind of relates to the nature and agricultural.
Definitely.
And family.
And family.
Because my brothers and sisters are ridiculous.
Oh, they're all great. They're all great.
So it also goes over academic satisfaction, and this score reflects on the degree of similarity between your profile and that of an average university student. It also
compared to university students.
And it also shows that it's not predicting your success, more as it's just providing an indication of the degree of which you might enjoy scholarly or university-like activities. So it's a good...
So it's not saying that it's not predicting my success.
Right. It's just showing that you have an interest in this opportunity of being in college and what it would take basically to be in college. Do you have that ability? But it's not showing, it's not predicting, it's just letting you know. So it looks like you have the average score is around 500 and you scored around 421, so you're a little bit below average, but it looks like you're still pretty high in the percentile. So you did...
But at the same time, what does that say?
It says 2/3 of high school and college students score between 400 and 600. So you're within average still. So that's a good thing to know, yes.
My anxiety just went through the roof for a moment there.
Oh, yeah.
I actually prefer this style compared to like the SAT. Because I feel like this is more like beneficial for colleges and the students. Yeah,
definitely. Because it shows the similarities.
Yeah, that's great.
Especially because I get really bad test anxiety. So I feel like I didn't score nearly as well with SAT as with this, which makes more sense.
This also goes over similarity to college students. So the JVIS profile assesses over 10,000 university students, and it shows 150 different major fields ranging from accounting to zoology, and it basically classifies them down into 17 broad academic clusters, and each cluster is based on data from both males and females and represents a set of educational majors that are shared within the similar pattern of the scores. So in your results, it ranked your similarity of your JVIS basic interest profile to each of the student clusters, and then a high score in that area will indicate that your pattern of interest is similar to students in the fields of the concentration of the cluster. So it looks like you scored very high, very similar to environmental resource management. So this is just a type of cluster that you could be organized in. So basically this is giving you an idea of when you go to college, what type of major field you might be interested in.
So is that kind of like environmental, like recycling kind of thing? Maybe?
Yeah, it definitely deals with recycling and just doing things to benefit the environment.
Okay.
And it also looks like you were similar to health, physical education, and recreation, which makes sense because you were interested in being outside
active.
and being active, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you're moderately similar to agribusiness and economics, so that's dealing with
agricultural business.
Yes, agricultural business. So it seems like these are options that you would have for when you go to college. So you could be more interested in going into this type of field because it would match your interest that you chose on your profile.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, especially compared to like looking at computer science, which is
where you weren't scored very
really
high.
low. Yeah.
And also,
what's the worst one?
You're very dissimilar to social science, law, and politics. You definitely do not like the power aspect.
No,
yes, which makes sense with you not being communicative.
And even the communication arts looks like it was low too.
Yeah.
And it also goes over, so from what the cluster you had, which was the environmental resource management, health, physical education, recreation, and agribusiness and economics, it shows you what sample majors are.
Wow.
So it definitely makes it easier for when you're deciding about going to college, what different type of majors you could be in and what they're related to the cluster that you're in.
Ooh.
So for environmental resource management, you could be likely to major in wildlife technology, forest science and technology, or recreation and parks.
Like Rex and Park. I can be the next Ben or something. I don't know.
Leslie.
Nope. Yeah, Leslie. Let's do that one.
And then for health, physical education, and recreation, you could get a major in, again, parks and recreation or health and physical education.
Got it.
So it just goes over different majors that would likely fit your interest. And it also shows similarity to different job groups. So agriculturalists, you're very similar, construction and machining. But more likely the agriculturist. It seems like that definitely meets your interest more so because you're scored very high.
Surprised construction is up so high.
Yeah, it was moderately similar, so not quite as high. And then it goes into talking about different occupations in agriculture. So it sounds like you really may be interested in that.
What is the ONET there in all caps? That website.
It's a website where you can go and they have different information on these job titles that are listed here. And what it takes to go into them. So agricultural manager, it would have, or aquacultural manager, it would have different information about specifics on the job and like abilities that you have. So you can see if it matches with what you specifically, because this has ONET is a really good website that has it breaks it down further into it. So this will just like show like what the top interest and top job titles would be. And
I remember seeing that. We had to do a research project in one of our classes, and we had to look at ONET. And so they talked about like the knowledge and skills required and the different.
Okay, so you know this website?
Yeah,
okay.
So I can definitely go
look at ONET too.
Okay, so I was going to ask if you could write that down, but if you know it already, we'll just look it up later.
So it sounds like you gained a lot of information from this.
I mean, it definitely narrows down pretty much what I would want to go into since I was kind of confused about it beforehand. So
is there a little more clarity for you?
I hope so. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think from here on, it would be good to go ahead and look on ONET and look further into those different job titles. And you'll get a printout of this, so you'll be able to take it home with you.
Awesome.
Great. Yeah.
And you can further look into that. And if you have any other questions, we can do more career assessments.
Okay. Well, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.